them know that we are the American Indians. Copper color Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black man in Africa taking up space. Why you keep trying to attach yourself to a continent where even if you got the chance to go and you went, most people there wouldn't even claim you as one of them, as a purebred daughter or son of them. You're right here now, no matter.
We are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby? I'm not African. Nigga, you a lying.
ISO. Dama. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't got a lie, they know we the vibe, we living in proof. It's young conscious, shoot my life a movie, I live in a spoof. Ain't no sticking around, I'm on the move, I'm checking the dudes. Yeah, it's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe. We on the roof, smoking dope, look at the view. Yeah, we used to chill on the stoop, now we out here breaking the news. It ain't what you really could do, cause we ain't got nothing to lose. We ain't switch side with no cruise, we just stayed out of the loop. Now we out here letting it loose, every shot we took it was swoosh. Gotta get it, ain't no excuse, ain't left to prove. Hey, yeah, hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies. Yo, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many. Yeah. Ask them a real question, yeah, I bet it's all lies. Hey, they won't cross that line for a fact that's offsides. Hey, too much penalties when they run this back, yeah, it's fines. Hey, could've been here with us, but we do not force no vibes. Hey, she gon' ride the whip and let me park it in the driveway. They just want the praise like they Yahweh. Getting so much bread, yeah, the ride way. We done already won, yeah, that's worth the ride way. But they still lying right through their teeth, and they still hiding behind many truths. They was D9, watch my every move, tell them keep fine. Leave that shit on scene, I ain't replying. Less I know you, that don't mean I'm Hollywood. That just mean I'm Hollywood. All y'all, I probably stood on the falls, all cause. More times I probably should. I don't know nobody like us. You see how much time it took. Yeah, hey, there's so many lies, so many lies, so many lies. Hey, there's so many lies, so many lies, so many, there's so many, hey, there's so many, yo, there's so many. Hey, there's too many lies, hey. Yeah, ISO, Indies, Dama.
Hey now, everybody. How y'all doing? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Lady Moon, Rodney, SyFy. I got SyFy up on the panel with me today. Sister SyFy, Rodney, Lady Moon, everybody watching. Salute to everybody watching. I know it's going to be interesting today. Man, oh man. We got 2,200. You put Trump's name in there, and boy, oh boy, there it goes. I streamed to Twitter, so uh, we have a lot of, I believe, politicians watching. We got Trump's name in here, so this is going to be interesting. Now, um, Sister SyFy and I are going to have Salute Original Intellect, a very sister-like, lady-like dialogue, and we will open up later for questioning. Um, she has information that she shared with me, and I asked her if I could share it on the live, and she said yes. So, but we're gonna have a decent dialogue. Now, she is not a Moor, from what she told me. She's not a Moor. I'm not a Moor. I am not a Moor. I do realize, and everybody knows that I have a severe disagreement with a lot of Moorish information, but I actually have somebody up here I can dialogue with, and there won't be no fighting and name calling and all that crazy shake your head and neck ghetto stuff. It's just not going to go down. And I'm not going to allow anyone up here to come up here and exercise that type of behavior. I'm just going to remove you from the panel. So I want to start off by saying, talking about a conversation she and I had earlier. You just want to introduce yourself, SyFy, first before we get into it. I'm from Connecticut.
Hi, I'm SyFy Living. Some of you guys may know me, you may not, but I used to be on YouTube doing a lot of videos showing my face. And my YouTube page have gotten taken down after I built it up for 15 years because I was showing some credible evidence of what was going on around the pandemic. Not necessarily this, but everything that was surrounding it and the chaos around the world and misinformation. And that's how my page ended up getting taken down. So I just wanted to say that for some of those who may recognize my face or my name, yes, it's me. And I am here to share some information that some of you guys may or may not know, with also some documentation to show proof what Trump have actually did for America.
And that's fair use and flag on the plane, or however they say it. What do they say? Flag on the plane, or somebody help me. So I didn't know that you had a channel that got shut down. And was it shut down for showing this very information that I'm sharing? Because this is all alleged information. None of this is deemed true. I mean, I can attest to it because this is the first that I'm seeing of it, but I don't want to talk about.
No, at the time, it had nothing to do with this. In fact, this information have not came out as public yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm sharing it was after the fact, but some of the information that was not alleged because I had proof of what was going on. YouTube had purged my account with thousands of other accounts. I ended up getting caught up on the back end, and my page wasn't even as large as yours, but it was just the power of information that they did not want nobody to know. So there you have it.
And was it pertaining to this or something else?
No, it was something else. It was basically overthrowing our government. I'm going to say it like that.
Oh, okay. Well, Waya and this community has no plans on overthrowing this government at all, on no level ever. But what I am going to do is allow Sister SyFy to share it. And do you believe this information, really? Or
Oh, your mic just muffled. Can you say something?
1212? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Could you ask your question again? It kind
I
of went.
said this information.
Hmm.
Yeah, yours is squeaking a little bit.
Oh no, it was just fine just now.
No, it is fine. It still is fine.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
So do you want to pull up the document and then we share, or how you want to do this?
Well, the way I first wanted to talk about
Okay.
what we spoke about before this information came up.
Okay.
Remember, we were going to talk about how we hate each other so much, and you know, people not understanding what I was trying to say on Brother Sanchez channel about
Information.
the um uh half blood, half breed children,
Okay.
mixed children. And I was trying to explain to them that if you're half white, half black, that's what we were talking about. And my, Brother Sanchez was saying, I was talking about the physical appearance. And what I was explaining to him was had these conversations with a couple of my colleagues, and they gave some legitimate reasons as to why they won't date outside their race or marry outside their race. And the one white man told me that, well, because I want my children to look like me. And I thought that was a fair response. I don't think that there was anything wrong with him with what he was saying, because um for the most part, when you have a baby by someone outside your race, such as black and white, the predominant gene always is there, and that's what Brother Sanchez was misunderstanding about it. I'm like, you will see Negro features in a half white and half um black baby. Now, there are some instances where I can have a baby by a white man and it comes out with more of the European features. That's why so many people were passing for white back in the days, those Jim Crow law days, and they were passing and Waterplecker and the whole thing. But that's all I was trying to explain. And they said, no, you're talking about the physical and da 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 da, and it's the DNA that's half this and half that. And I'm like, oh no, no, no. It just wasn't understanding it. And it happened to be a panel of predominant men that have had mixed children with. So that's all.
Okay. Well,
And no, you got it.
my view on that is I had worked with people that looked white and they were actually black.
Yep.
I am in the South, so maybe that may have something to do with it. But um, Bobby Hemmett did say that.
I'm gonna cut my camera off for a few minutes because I'm drinking water and I'm listening, but I'm gonna cut it right back on.
Okay.
Okay.
Bobby Hemmett has said that one of the ways that you can recognize someone being half black is, like, before you have sex with them, if their nipple is fully melanated, their kneecaps and elbows, things of that nature. That's where the melanin is concentrated at. That's kind of how you would know. Sometimes it could be the texture of their hair. But in my case, my colleague that I used to work with, he had straight hair and he looked white, but I had no idea that he was black. And I think something happened on the news. I want to say it could have been the George Floyd. It was something going on though, and it kind of upset him so much. And he pulled me to the side and he whipped out a picture of his father that looked darker than me, along with a picture with his mom. His mom came from Europe. And I didn't believe that was his dad. And he said, "Listen, this is my dad." And I looked at him, and he looked just like his dad, but he was just the whiter version of him. And I said, "So what did you put on your driver's license?" He said, "You know, I had to put white." And he said, "And let me tell you, there is benefits to it because I've been pulled over a few times, and when the police sees, my ID at me clarifying as a white man, sometimes I won't even get a ticket." But the reason he pulled me over was because he said that his son has kinky hair and his wife is white. And he said that he's 16 and he's driving, well, he's doing the test to get his driver's license. And he was fearful that if the police pull him over, it won't go over as well because of the texture of his skin, and he tend to tan fast. That's what he said to me, and he just wanted to get it off his chest and talk to someone black because his wife didn't understand that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And we still going through this bullshit that so many people think that we're not going through. And what's really crazy, and I don't know if it's psychological or it's just pure people playing pure assholes. Oh, I wish I had some wine. That looks so good. But white people don't think that they do racist harassing shit. And you really have to sit them down and say to them, this is what the fuck, excuse my language, because this is my channel and I'm going to speak. You literally have to sit them down and say, this is what the fuck you're doing to me. And you don't see it as racist. So we need to go where, in the court so they could see that your fucking ass is exercising racist and harassing behavior. We have to literally do that because if not, they just think that they're not being racist.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
I have another
But you have to be a strong person to
story.
go through that and go through the court system to do it, to show motherfuckers, look, I will fight you till fucking death through the court system.
Yeah.
And if we have to go through doing that shit, then racism still exists
Yes.
in this country.
Speaking of the police situation, I had a friend that went through that. He's black, and he did a road trip because he's a director of an IT doing IT. So he had to drive down to one of the locations, which happened to be like 300 miles away from the corporate office. And he brought one of his employees, which happened to be a Chinese man. He said on the road trip, once they got to the big city, which was Houston, the police had pulled him over. And he said he didn't think nothing of it. And then when the police approached the car, the police saw him in the car with a Chinese man and asked him to put his hands up, take one, take one hand, get out the door. And he said, "What did I do, man? So I got and he said, "No, keep your hands up," and made him get out of the car in the back of the car and asked, what's going on, who is him sitting in the car. And he explained that he was the director in the IT department. This is the company he worked for. And the driver's license did show where he lived. And the officer's like, "Well, what you doing out here with the Chinese?" He said, "That's my employee, and we're setting up shop, for this area. But we have to connect all the IT and the cable and stuff." So then the other officer was talking to the employee, which he basically said the same thing. They're colleagues, they work for the same company. And the police felt so bad, he didn't even give him a ticket. He really didn't give him a good reason why he pulled him over. And then once he hopped back in the car to drive to the location, that's when his colleague turned around and said, "I am so sorry you have gone through this. I used to think when I hear black people saying this, they were kind of over exaggerating." He said, "But I see exactly what you're saying. And I just want to apologize for how they treated you."
Girl, I've seen so many videos where politicians who are look like us, look like us. I'm not saying they are us, because they are skin folk ain't kin folk.
Mm-hmm.
But did you see? I forgot which mayor this was, but he was a mayor and he had on jeans and a shirt. And honey, why did the police pull him over? He was not speeding, he was not doing nothing. So the mayor just went along with him, right? Pulled him over and he was acting really fucked up towards him, this white guy. And he didn't even know that this guy was the fucking mayor, right? And he said the mayor kept asking him why was he pulled over? He wasn't speeding. What happened? What have I done? So the mayor, he got the he didn't give him his city or municipal ID. He gave him his regular driver's license, right? So the next day he went to work. He had on a business suit and he called the chief of police and had him bring the guy to the municipality.
Wow.
And he was sitting in his fucking mayor chair. And the cop almost passed the fuck out. If girl, I wish I was a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
He was so red. This was a purely white European man. Girl, when he got in that mayor's office, he was redder than a New York apple.
Wow. Yeah.
He couldn't even say nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. You can't
But
just.
that's not the first instance. There's so many. So many.
Wow. Yeah. It's a few bad apples, but um I want to say there's three different cities that I know of, and it's not like big name cities like Dallas, St. Louis, Chicago, but it's like towns, three of them here in America where the police officers had closed shop.
Really?
And yes, they have literally closed shop because everything that's going on here in America got to shut down. All the old systems got to shut down. And this goes into why President Donald J. Trump had bankrupt America, the corporation, because everything is under the corporation, including the police.
Okay, flag on the play. This is alleged. Alleged. Fair use. Fair use. So I want to get into that. Now, I'm I am not getting on you. I know this is not your paperwork, and I'm gonna share it because really have a severe disagreement with Moors, and I'm gonna, humbly explain that to you. I have not had a great past relationship with Moors because of so many frivolous paperwork that they present, and that's on the dark web, and they bring it to reality and share it with people in our community who are very naive and don't read and don't understand. Um, so, and I've did a lot of research on who they are, and all the information that I found in reference to Moors are, point me to Africa, totally in conflict of the information that they present and that I see for them, not that they are not the aboriginals to this landmass. I don't see it as a descriptive term. And, you know, they're the first ones to tell you, what did your grandmother say? What your grandmother say? I said, well, Granny always said we Indian. She never said we was more. So I said she never said we was African American. And they said, that's right. If Granny didn't tell you was African American, you're not African. And the same thing goes for more with me. They never told me that. I've never knew about Moors until I came into YouTube. And then I asked my mom about him, who expressed a horrible experience with him as a young woman in her mid 30s. And, I just been doing research and research and research, and everything I find is just like so in conflict to what they teach. So it's very difficult for me to say that it's a descriptive term. So I leave it at that, and I humbly would like to keep the conversation going, because I can't get a real more up here to have a real dialogue without them getting angry and stuff. So I just stay away from them and just don't believe them, and I don't recommend them. But anyway, you got it, sister. I have all the documents that you sent me. Um, and I would like to pull up the first document that you said Trump signed.
Okay. And I want to say something because you did mention African American.
Oh, let me cut my camera off for a minute. I'm smoking, but I don't want to do it live.
Okay.
But I'm listening.
Jesse Jackson had gave us the term of African American on January 31st,
1988.
1988. And that was so wrong. That was paper and verbal genocide on our culture here in America. So a lot of other leaderships in the Black community was upset about it. And they even said that they're not African American, including some celebrities that had addressed it on TV and do an interview. I want to say Smokey Robinson, Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman. So just to name a few, we are not African American. The only way you can be African American is if you were born in Africa and you end up becoming here as citizenship, and then you can label yourself as African American, because then they would say, well, what part of Africa are you from? You can say Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Kenya, or in my case, my mother is American. She's a Mississippian. She had a baby by a Nigerian, and they had a baby boy, which is my brother. And even he can say he's African American because his father is Nigeria and he has his father blood, but he's American because of my mom.
Right.
But if both sets of parents are American, then it's no need for us to claim Africa. And there is no disrespect by saying that, because when you do that, you cast a spell on who you really are, I believe. And it is verbal and paper genocide that you're doing on yourself. And they always have an option. If you notice, when it comes to race, like if you go to the driver's license because you lost your driver's license, you got to fill out the application. They have Black, African American. You don't have to click African American. You could just choose Black, because that's what we were before Jesse Jackson even said that publicly.
We were something else before that too.
True. And
we were the tribal names that we were.
Right. But it goes down the line, because they had Negro, they had Black, they had Copper Tone. So we've been given so many names here in America, which is proof there is some type of paper genocide that's going on with us only. And why is that? Because we were already here. And the clue is, if you watch Malcolm X movie that Spike Lee did, there is an excerpt, I think it was on the trailer before the movie actually came out. Watch it on TV and you kind of have an idea how the movie's going to be like. And one of the quotes I remember Malcolm saying is, we didn't land on planet Rock or Plymouth Rock let it on us.
Correct.
He was Malcolm was giving us so many clues when he kept doing his debates all over this country in universities. He was a Republican, which a lot of people did not know. When he teamed up with Alex Hayes, it was supposed to be 3 chapters that was talking about how he became a Republic and how he did his own research. And after Malcolm was assassinated, those 3 chapters was deliberately left out.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a lot of things that we have been lied to on. It's a lot of things that they purposely teach us in school. And if we don't put the right answer to their doctrine, then we get an X. We don't pass classes, even though our mothers, our grandmothers, our big mamas, our grandfathers, our father told us, you're Cherokee, you're this, you're that, you're Blackfoot. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we had to go along to get along in order to survive in this system, because that's all it is. It's a system that tear us down and constantly try to figure out how to get rid of us, whether it's syphilis, the Project, the
Tuskegee.
Tuskegee Project, which that went on for, I want to say 40 or 41 years. It went on from the 40s and they ended it in 1971. President Bill Clinton had did an apology about it. So it's true history when it comes to things like this. And it's not a coincidence, it's a fact. Um, and when you do paper genocide on people like us, it makes it harder for us to claim back our land and to reclaim our culture. Every treaty that has been written for our ancestors, none of them never came to pass.
They were all broken. Okay. So a lot of the people here in this community are aware of Jesse Jackson and the few people, 70 people, may I say, that where they try to label us, but they have no authority to pass no laws. So they're speaking for themselves. Um, it's it's amazing. But anyway, um, I want to bring up your first document.
Okay.
It's going to be an overlay, and you can explain it. And then after you explain it, I will. Um, thought it was there. Is this the letter? This. I thought I put it up here.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to go and get it. I
okay.
thought for sure this was here. Let me see again.
You want me to email it to you?
No, no, no. I got it. I just gotta. I could have sworn I put that letter up.
Okay.
I guess. You know what? Can you email it to me real quick?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
letter. I know. I thought for sure that I put that darn letter up.
Okay, let me get it for you real quick.
Let me know when you sent it, and I'll quickly up. I got it.
Okay, great.
There it is. Okay, let me just download it really quick
Okay.
and upload it. Do 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 do. Okay. Now I can go in there and get it. Thanks for your patience, guys.
Mhm.
All right, it's in here. So you can explain this letter. You could read it and explain it.
Okay, basically, this is a letter that Donald J. Trump had responded to a Moor that has sent him a certified letter with stamps and seal asking him to bankrupt the corporation of United States. Um, Trump did respond. And let me give you a little background, family. Um, some of us have heard in the past that the Moors have gone to court to challenge the federal government, that they're sovereign, and that their birth certificate and social security were traded on Wall Street with bonds, stocks and bonds, and they were having these shell companies under our names. So individuals, and I'm speaking of the Moors, were taking the US government, federal government, to court to stop their Social Security and their birth certificate from being traded and extract the money from that account and give it to them as a sovereign being. And with that being said, some Moors were very successful on doing this. And so, therefore, the word got out. And when the word got out and people start doing it in big pockets, like 15 at a time, 20 at a time, whatever, then the federal government and the FBI looked into it and said, we got to put a stop to it, because if everybody does this, this will bankrupt our system and they won't be required to pay taxes and things of that nature. So they went ahead and passed an emergency law, federal law. If anyone was to try to pursue it in this manner, then the FBI would have an opportunity to indict them on federal charges. And I believe one of them is domestic terrorism. There are two YouTube brothers. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of them, but they are known as Red Pill, Blue Pill. They kind of brought it out on Sonetta TV on 125th Street in Harlem. And they actually read what the terrorists, domestic terrorists looked like, and they were literally targeting Moor. They had the word Moors because of this letter that we are presenting to you on this show is tied to what they were doing in the early 2000s. So with that being said, that kind of stopped a lot of Moors from pursuing this type of case with the federal government. So this person who had contacted Donald J. Trump have also tried to do it with President Bill Clinton, with George Bush Jr., with President Obama, and they all ignored it. They would not acknowledge it. So when Trump became president, he did it with President Donald J. Trump. Trump looked into it, and he did agree to bankrupt the corporation of the United States. Now, as you can see, what's on this letter is highlighted in yellow just to kind of point out the most important part. So this happened, Donald J. Trump, this letter came from the White House, as you can see on the top of the letterhead right in the middle. The White House, Washington, D.C., May 4, 2020. And let me see, it says, let me blow it up on my phone. The bankrupt United States, in all caps, owe its true creditors, which is us, which is the American people, in direct resolution to the Borrow Gold and National Banking Emergency Act of 1933. Now, if some of you guys know your history, 1933 is very important because I believe that's when the Federal Reserve came into play. They had a secret meeting at Jacko Allen. I forgot what state. I want to say either Carolina or Georgia. This is also tied to the Titanic, the ship um, going down in the ocean, in the Atlantic Ocean, because there were some power heads that was on that ship that was against the IRS, the Federal Reserve. They did not agree with it. But when that ship went down and they died, this is how all of this really came about. And this is how our Social Security and birth certificate was traded on the stock market. So when you are born, you are worth a lot of money. And when you die and you have a death certificate, the stock market has access to that. And they also make money off of that as well. So this is how they've been getting by on our information as far as, keeping us out of the loop of what they were really doing. And the city of London and the Vatican was also getting kicked back from all of this as well. So this is why the FBI had to step in when the Moors were doing this in the early 2000s, because they did not want this to continue on. And because this Moor had took the liberty to do it not only for himself, but for all of us, all Americans. So this is not a Black thing. This is an American thing. That means that the old system got to tear down. This is why you hear about mass layoffs. It's no coincidence. It's supposed to happen this way. Um, Everything that you think that even the electricity, the water, all of that's supposed to be free energy. All of that we're going to have in our near future. And you will hear this publicly of these big changes where we're going to have to get accustomed to doing things that we never done before, or we never had an opportunity to do it before, because we're always at work with our head down, and being at work and being away from family is a distraction itself, but we got used to it from generation to generation. Their time is up. This is why you see a bunch of chaotic things happening in the government system. For an example, I want to say in January, 53 congressmen has said that they're not going to re-elect for their chair anymore, because they know that after November, there won't be a big government anymore. This is why certain towns, the police are literally closing shop. These videos are on TikTok, but it shows documents. People they went to those police stations with their phones, and it clearly said that this precinct does not exist anymore, because that's part of the old system, which is the corporate of United States, the Corporation of United States. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Sorry about that. So the document that came from Trump, and thank you for sharing that. I the very first thing I noticed, there's no seal on that letter. Um and I'm not saying this to upset you, but the document clearly looks
I,
um
I didn't know documentation is supposed to have a seal when it comes from
well
White
well
House.
the writing on it is completely bogus, and I'm going to tell you why. Um a he's not, he is the chief commanding officer. He's over the um uh militia. He's the chief commanding officer. They had him they have him down as president slash chief executive officer. of the United States, and he's the chief commanding officer. Um, the other thing is the uh, letter where it says regarding, it says U.S. federal person Roger Allen Moore / Raj Aksem Moore Raphael, taxpayer identification, descendants, and then it goes into the United States President Donald Trump, his secretary, or his staff will never start a letter, professionally written letter, stating to whomever United States business entity this may concern, who commercially operates on United States public markets and accepts and or exchange in the United States. Wow, that or just by looking at that, I could honestly say that it's bogus.
All right. Well, that is
But that,
is your
but that's my opinion. That's just my opinion,
you
and
too. But
based,
let me,
I don't believe that Donald Trump signed that and
what
sent it to
if
him.
what if this actually happened though?
Well,
Like let's say wait, let me finish. Let's say by December of this year, it comes out that this letter is real, it's not bogus, and it's televised on the TV. Then at that point, will you still think it's bogus or will you just say, wow, she was right?
I would say literally, because I don't have a problem, saying okay, I was wrong. I don't have a problem admitting to my wrong. I would clearly say, Saida, I stand corrected. I would. I truly will. And if that happens, which I strongly doubt it's going to happen in November, I, I, that's just my thought right now.
I said
Um,
December the 1st. I really didn't say November, but it is gonna, I believe it's going to happen. And I do respect you not thinking that this is not real. Now, family, could you please show them the certified mail that I sent you along with the
yes, I'm going to show you all of them. I was just going through that one. I'm going to definitely show them that. I want to say this, and I'm not being mean, because we can, be professionals. Um, I just, what if it doesn't happen? I asked you the same question you asked me. What if it doesn't happen at all, like this year or even next year?
I see it happening because there's already small steps that have happened since that letter has been written, which I am excited about. So I know for a fact that
No,
it's
that's not the question I asked.
I'm
I
I'm
said, what if it doesn't happen?
giving you my answer. I'm
Okay,
so you may not want to agree with my answer, but if you don't mind, let me tell you what my answer is.
okay.
When that letter came out, I didn't quite understand. Okay, what does this really mean? Like, how are we going to know that this is really going to come into fruition? And I was told that because you're going to see some major changes in America that's just not going to make sense, but it's tied to this letter because in order for the corporation to collapse and the new system come up, we can't have the old and the new existing at the same time. And that's what we're seeing right now as far as the chaos here in America. When all the trains were derailing, that was part of it. That's part of the old system. The bridges are being sabotaged. That's part of the old system because of cargo, because we really don't need a bunch of cargo from around the world. Because in order to create the economics here in America, we can do it ourselves, made in America. We don't even see that on anything anymore. So I was literally told before all of these events happened, even the closing of police precincts, I didn't even believe that. And I said, why would that has something to do with this? Because the police are a part of the corporation of the United States. And even if you talk to a police officer and say, hey, what can you do and what you can't do? The police will tell you, we are here to protect the corporation. That's part of this letter. So as time went on and I start seeing things crashing, and then congressmen, saying that they're not going to, go ahead and run for their seat because that piece of it is going to be shut down. The RS building, if anyone had traveled to Washington, D.C. within the past 2 years, you can see it's boarded up. That's a part of this letter. They got the White House with high fence. That's part of the corporation of United States. And you guys know that the Washington, D.C. is an international land. So it's a lot of things that we're going to see from today leading up to November that's going to blow you guys away. But please remember, you watch this show, and I'm telling you, that's part of this letter of the United States corporation being shut down little by little. So when everything has fallen, then we're going to raise it up with the new system that's going to benefit us as we the people. The government is going to be small. It's not going to be no career, things of that nature. Washington, D.C. is going to shrink tremendously. So it's happening. And that's my answer. That's how I know that this letter is real.
Okay, so let me ask you, let me say this. Thanks for your answer, by the way. Um, what about the fact now? I know you said that all these politicians are not running again, but are you aware that white politicians are running in their place?
They're not running for the 2025 seats again because they are fully aware of this letter.
So why are they registering and running?
They're not running. The government is going to shrink. The government is going to shrink. The lawyer's going to have to relearn the United States, not corporation, but the United States of, my mind just went blank. What was we? The Republic of the United States.
Okay.
So we're going to transition from the corporate of the United States to the Republic of the United States. So the politicians is going to shrink. We're not going to have big politicians anymore. That's over with because we're seeing how they're taking advantage of their position now. And it's not just Republican or Democrat, it's all of them. And we're seeing it in plain sight. The court system is going to shrink too, because as you can see, there's a lot of judges that's not making the right decision based on the constitutional law. And we're going into the law of the Republic because the law that we have now is maritime law, which is a water law. This is land. We're going into the law of the land and of the Republic. So they already know in Washington, D.C. what's up. A lot of these judges, some of these police officers, some of these people have been waiting for this for a long time. They've been knowing about this, but we're slowly seeing America corporation crumble.
So who's going to have the ultimate power now?
That I do not know. So I'm not going to say I know everything because I don't, but I know for a fact that this corporation is crumbling right before our eyes.
Okay, so how come illegal immigrants are getting the right to vote in November?
Good question.
I'm only asking because someone in the chat asked.
No. That's a good question. Okay, so the reason why they are here, and they also in Europe too. The UN went to those countries and asked if they would help America and Europe because we're going to have a mass arrest that's supposed to take place sometime this year. I don't know what month, what day, but I heard it's supposed to be this year. There's over a 500,000 civil indictments that have taken place from 2017 up to now. Seal indictments means that you can't just pull up the case by Google because it has
Correct.
sealed. No, I'm just saying it for those who are listening because they may not know. So, with that being said, they are really here because you notice they've been saying, oh my God, they're military age. They are here as a contract to be the police and to be part of military. They're going to be trained by special people here in America to teach them how to arrest and where to haul them off to. This will happen, and this is why a lot of them had came over here. Now, you do not have to believe me. I understand. You could disagree with me. But when it all hit the fan, you heard it from here first. And they will go back because once the contract is over, they will be placed on the plane and flown back to their homeland. And when they fly back to their homeland, they're going to be rewarded. Like I said, you do not have to believe me. Now, with that being said, there is some bad apples that cross this border. I get it, but I understand the plan. And when you have bad apples, you got to deal with it and you got to deal with it quickly. I don't think for November the 5th, we're going to even have the opportunity to vote. I haven't heard that anywhere. It's just the way things are looking. And I've been communicating with other friends of mine that are in the know. Everybody's kind of saying it like it just seems like we're not going to vote because it's just too much other stuff going on. So that's why they're here. And like I said, you don't have to believe me.
You said that's why the illegal immigrants are here.
Yep, they got a contract.
Okay. Okay, flag on the plague. I'm just saying that to protect my channel because this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Fair use is in effect. As the scroll down below, I am just receiving this information. I'm listening. I'm not one to you know condone you, but I can only give my opinion, and that's it. And I respect what you're saying, and I I just don't believe nothing until I see it. Okay, and I promise you, if that happens, I will come to you and invite you publicly on my channel and say SyFy. I stand corrected. But right now, I'm just not feeling it because of the ugly things that they're doing right now. The harassing and corporate management, all kinds of things are happening to our people. And a lot of our people do not know how to explain themselves in a court setting properly. I can explain myself and I can be very descriptive um, in a lot of instances. For the most part, I play like a dumb ass. I play overly dumb at all levels. I just play stupid because when you play stupid, you have to make them think that they're powerful. So you play stupid, just act completely dumb. And that's what I do.
Okay, but I would like to say this too. They are tearing down the system.
I, you know, um,
They are. These malls are
I could say that so far they're still exercising what they've done for a couple of 100 years. And that's allowing illegal immigrants in the country to work for cheap labor. I could say that's what I see. I mean, they're showing it on the news,
You did.
and people are talking about it in
Did,
California and Texas and New York.
did you
So that
some food that they fire everyone there and hired them and pay them more? Like they're
say that again.
Tyson Food. Have you heard about that?
No.
They laid off all of their employees and hired them instead and paying them more. They're tearing
Did
down.
did they have a union?
No, they're tearing down the.
You're talking about Tyson's Food that makes the chicken.
It
They
made
laid.
it made news. It made international news.
Hmm. So they laid off all their employees and hired illegal immigrants. Okay. Okay. All right.
They're tearing
So
down the system.
okay, and this is all fair use. Um, do you I uploaded them as you emailed them to me. Here's the next document. Do you want to explain? It's called the official form 205 involuntary petition against a non-individual. I can't hear you. You must have your mic is muted.
I'm so
You want to explain this document or
a part of the corporation being bankrupt. That and then there is another form that I sent you. Let me
so
see.
it's saying identify the chapter of the bankruptcy code under which petition is filed, and it's selected off chapter 11. And who is
Can you
let
pull
me see
up the United States Bankruptcy Court? Because I sent that to you. That's a part of that
this
document.
one.
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
United States Bankruptcy Court, Northern District of Florida, Tallahassee Division. Just case number.
Mm-hmm.
Order to show cause. Why? Chapter 11. Petition should not be dismissed. So you're saying that this is an actual case of the United States filing bankruptcy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This is
This is
all linked to that letter that you said that was bogus.
okay. No, I'm looking at it. Uh I will just have to see. I mean, it looks a little abnormal from, government documents that I've dealt with. And this right here is saying Patricia Michael Shelby. Who is that? She's the attorney and represented by. Okay, this is the part. This is why I talk about the bogusness. Represented by highly favored Shakina L. and their pro se, and represented by Malik Rash Rashi L. All and their pro se. They're representing themselves. And this is why I say that that's the dagger of why I don't believe this letter's from Trump, and
Mm-hmm.
the fact that they're representing. I um I'm just having a very hard time believing, and it because they have the last name L. I'm going to just state that they're probably Moors with that, and that I don't recall Moors having that type of power in the United States. And uh, by the letter that they're stating that they received from Donald Trump directly, and it's just I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time buying this.
Hey, that's just your opinion. It's okay.
Right,
Only
right,
time will
right,
tell. Only time
right,
will tell.
right, right. Bethy all over the tube. Tyson does not buy. Uh, ever heard about Rod. I know Rod Haynes. It said the U.S. declared bankruptcy in 19 August 1971. So I just I don't know. It's just these. I just have a very hard time, with believing that Moors have that power, and I just think I don't know. I just think that they're severely misleading our people, and us. You have folks like Dane, um, and Top Cats and Chief Holiday and Empress Hobart, you know, and Phoenix Moon, and and Add Power. We're all educating our people about our history, and the individuals that I did name um never expressed any Moors having that type of power, and it appears that they're exercising. To me, this is just my opinion, that they're exercising or falsely putting forth documents which they feel that they have power to do here on North American mainland soil. And I just can't buy it. And, when I see things like this from the FBI, you know, it's the same, you know, rhetoric with them. And they're on the FBI's site. Okay. And I just have, let me see, I think I have something else. It's very difficult. And all, I just, let me see, they tell me to do it this way.
I respect your opinion.
Here's the FBI record on these guys,
Yep.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
their vault. And then they have the raid on this elderly woman's home of
Mm-hmm.
the Washita Nation.
Sure did.
And, I just felt that she's a bogus elderly lady. And they do not have power in the United States.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just having a hard time,
Well,
sci-fi.
you gotta keep in mind too, those records that you just show is under the corporation.
Correct.
The corporation is tumbling down, and you're going to see more of it going forward.
So can you explain why they are still arresting people? The
I can't,
corporation?
I can't explain that, but I know for a fact that it is being chiseled out as we speak.
Okay, because there's people with actual court cases right now
Hmm.
in district courts all over the United States
Yep.
being sentenced, giving federal time.
Yep.
So in November, are those people going to be released from prison because they're crumbled?
My understanding is once it is made public, then everything is going to be addressed publicly of what the next step is going to be. So, for an example, they're going to announce, in the future, yes, the corporation has crumbled. We are not under that system anymore. And therefore, we are under the Republic of United States. And there
Who's going to run it? Who's going to run the republic?
I don't know. We will all find out when that information come out, but I do know they are going to address your local police. I think the sheriff might be safe. I'm not sure because they're trying to streamline and shrink all types of government, local and federal, because it's been a hot mess since it's been around. So those documentations that you have shown, which is part of the FBI vote, I am familiar with that website. That's all under a corporation. And those who have been indicted and doing time in jail in the future, who knows? based on the Republic law, they may end up getting out of jail and being told, listen, you have a second chance. You're under the Republican. Now, whatever you did then, just don't make sure it don't go now. You see? But I do know that the prisons is going to be regulated, the courts, the people who took the bar test to be lawyers, they will have to be retrained under the Republican laws. All of that is going down. The water and the energy that we're paying, the internet, all of that is going to be free under Tussler energy. He tried to do this before he died and they refused to do it. But this is going to be something that's going to be in our future. So we don't have to worry about paying for no internet. We don't have to worry about um, paying our light bills. We don't have to worry about filthy water coming through our faucet because everything is going to crumble and we're going to bring up the new system to raise our soul beings up, because right now we're under attack with food. Um, we're not supposed to have credit card. That's illegal. So we're not going to have that under Republic. So we're going to be requested to only work maybe 2 times or 3 times a week, or to start our own business. If our kids want to go to school to be a holistic doctor, not a regular doctor, but a holistic doctor, which is natural, they won't have to pay a tuition to do that. It's going to be given to them. So everything that we are accustomed to is all going to tear down.
Okay, you're providing a lot of information, Sister SyFy. Who are you getting this information from, if I may ask? Who has convinced you to really believe it?
Well, I'm only laughing because I know you may not believe me, and that's fine. The military is releasing this information drip by drip. So the information I'm giving you had came over the past 5 to 6 years. I'm just now giving it to you back to back to back because this is 5 to 6 years of information that I have been told. And I've been keeping track. I've been literally keeping track of all this information. Even when I had my YouTube page, I didn't even want to put it out there, and I didn't put it out there even when I had my YouTube page, because at that time, information was just slowly coming out. But now that I got my hands on this letter, and then I went back and said, oh my God, this is all tied in. That's how I'm able to make sense of all of this. And it's not just me. I'm just one little small apple, but it's almost a million of us spread out in the United States, probably more, that knows about this information, that may have shared it with friends and family. They didn't want to believe it. They said, oh, come on, get out of here. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I just hope and pray within some months we can do a part 2 to this, so we can go over what have happened, what have transpired between now and up to the next show, if the opportunity presents itself. But I don't blame you for taking the approach that you are, because a lot of people like me that have been sharing this, we get the pushback, and that's fine. But I'm telling you, it's gonna happen, and we gonna, everybody's gonna be so happy. Everyone is gonna feel like, oh my God, so I'm really can spend time with my family. What? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing, and I'm not, listen. And I know a little bit more, but I'm not gonna even say it now because I just you on mute.
I don't know why. I think you said the most.
It's,
I don't know what could be more
oh my God.
wilder than what you just shared. I mean,
Oh,
you might as well,
okay.
because I'm gonna hold you
Okay.
accountable to this in
So
November. I'm gonna come and get you.
so let me tell you this. The reason why we will only work maybe 2 times or 3 times a week is because all of us is going to be filthy rich. So the reason is because of all the money that have been traded under our name, our social
Well,
security.
what about white people?
Everyone.
Oh, okay. Everyone's gonna be filthy rich.
This information is for everyone. It's no color line with this information. But let me say this. Even all the taxes that you guys been paying, every red penny nickel is going to be reimbursed back to you. I'm telling you. So this is why they're going to require for us to at least work 2 to 3 times a week to keep the society going. Because if everyone don't work, then that kind of put a standstill on society. Like Home Depot, we still need someone to, work at Home Depot, because when you come in there to try to, remodel your house, I need to be saying, hey, how are you doing? How may I help you? Did you find everything that you was looking for today? But I will only do that twice a week or 3 times a week to keep the society going. And we all gonna have to sign an agreement once we get our money. Either we're gonna be an entrepreneur that's still gonna help our community, or we're going to just work a job for public service to keep this going. So just because you have all this money, it doesn't mean you could just lounge and travel. We need you to keep this going, because it takes a community to raise a child. And it's the same metaphor with us being each other customer service.
Okay, so we've been going for an hour and a half. Could you believe it? When you're talking, the information.
Wow, I didn't realize it.
I put the link. I pinned the link, and I'm gonna give folks a chance to come up and ask Sister SyFy questions, and I'm gonna start calling names. Girly, Lady E. There's brothers in here too. Bad Saint. DJ, Chris, Soda. Y'all can come on up. Coles, R205, Bronze, Flat Power. The link is pinned to the top. You can come up and ask questions. I'm going to play one song and wait for you guys to come up. And you can ask your questions. You can, I see you, Chris. So I'm going to play a song and get other people a chance to come up as well. So I'm going to play one song, and then we can ask our sisters some questions.
Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it with you. Night turn to morning dew. Then you let's face baby, don't stop. Got the key to the lock, we in our own zone. Make yourself at home, get to know mine on the inside. Can meet at yours next time. And you.
Okay. So, is that you, Chief Jonesy? I just want to make sure you're on the panel.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'll take down the overlay. So, you were up first, Chris. You can ask Sister SyFy your question. Chris, you gotta unmute yourself. Okay, he must have stepped away. He's muted. Go ahead, Chief Jonesy.
Yeah, what I was going, I really, I was kind of like a question and kind of like a statement. I was calling to like, even though the studies and where I am with our research, I have heard references to the informations and the series of events that Sister SyFy is talking about. Now she can correct me, but the term that it's actually a military term. It's actually a military operation that's going on right now. I think it's called like planned devolution, to where like things can start slowly breaking down, and as they slowly break down, people start seeing other information truer than they used to see it based on their now obvious surroundings. It's kind of like a slow situation like that, because they know they can't drop all the information, because it's gonna be cardiac arrest with the level that's going to be in this revelation time. It's about to get real. And that, I mean, I don't know too much. I can't be getting up details, but that's the story and the scenario that, saying, unbeknownst, you should have grabbed your popcorn bags a few months ago. And, what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what I have to submit, what I'm saying? Shout out and gratitude to that empress right there. You too, Sister Betty. But yes, it is. I have heard that narrative it's not far fetched, and it ain't somewhere out the wall. And the one when she made that about those bad apples, some of those said L's and B's. Those are, what I'm saying, some of those bad apples are in that, what I'm saying, in that categorization right there. So just like we do. But at the same time, yeah, there's some lawful military, real first constitutional moves being made. And I'll digress with that.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Chief Bethy, I haven't been on here for a minute. How y'all doing?
I'm good.
Yeah, I wasn't even really trying to get on here until I, finished doing my genealogy. But, she was saying some real interesting stuff. So I had, a couple questions to ask. All right, you said, let me see where to start. You said we're gonna have we all gonna be rich and have free internet and what was it? Water, electricity. Who's gonna
Yes.
be providing all that? Like,
Well, it's supposed to already been given to us. Okay, so like we was not supposed to pay water. And I remember growing up, well, when I grew up, my mom never had a water bill. All of that just kind of aggressively came about as time went on. So water is supposed to be free. Electricity is supposed to be free. Tusker tried to do this before he died. And there are tons of not document, but there are documentaries on YouTube how he went against the government to try to give us free energy. He tried multiple times. He even gave them the patent and everything. So those patents are going to be released in order for us to have free energy, free internet, Wi-Fi, all of that. We are not supposed to pay for it. Um, the other thing is, as I stated before, all the taxes that you have ever paid, even when you was working as a teenager, all of that is going to be reimbursed back to you. That is illegal. We have heard this throughout the years, but we were kind of like, that don't sound right. I don't want the IRS come knocking at my door. But the IRS building has been boarded up for 2 years. So go ahead.
But they are working from home.
Not necessarily. That's another operation that is going on. What they're doing is they're calculating the money that we've been paying taxes for all this time. And there are people that are paying taxes. Even if they pay their taxes today, all of that is going to be reimbursed. Your 401k that's connected to Wall Street, when Wall Street, it's not going to crash because they don't want people to jump out the window or anything. They're going to freeze it. And then they're going to say, we're going to bring it back up. They're never going to bring it back up. But when they freeze it, they're going to freeze it. And any money that you had invested in the 401k is also going to be returned to you through with the IRS money that you've been paying and your 401k. All of that is going to come right back to you. If you own disability, some people have already received an increase of $5,000 a month. That's part of the money that is owed back to them, even if they're on disability. There was a person that was getting $2,000 a month, and they have received a letter saying that we're going to increase your pay, but never said the amount. And then when the next following month came, they received an additional $5,000. So they called the disability and they said, no, there ain't no mistake, because now they're receiving $7,000 a month. This is the money that is owed to all of us. So whether you own disability, you're going to get your money, or if you're working like me, we all going to get our money. We all going to get our money. Even those who's been locked up that are a felon, even if a felon only had one job, which was McDonald's, but all for the rest of his time, his adult time, he was a criminal selling drugs. The amount of money of taxes that he paid at McDonald's is going to be reimbursed back to him. And that's how crime is going to go down, because we all going to be equal regardless of color line. And when we go into the Republic of America, they are going to have strict laws for those who still want to keep the chaos going and disrupt our life, because we're supposed to be living in peace and harmony. We're not supposed to be paranoid. We're not supposed to think, oh my God, my boss don't like me, what's going to happen? All of that is, I'm telling you, it's all going away.
I wish somebody from the army could step up here and attest to that, because I have tribal members in the military.
They
And
sign
you tell me that there's members in the military that don't know about this?
They know, and they have to sign an NDA. And the bank people know too, because they've been working behind the scenes with the IRS people and with Wall Street to figure out how much is really owed. And they had to sign an NDA. But if you ask them, if you go to your bank and say, what do you know about quantum financial system, or QFS? They'll smile, or they might nod and say, I can't say nothing, because if they do say something, they can get in trouble because they sign an NDA. But what is your question, Chris? I don't know if I answer it.
Oh yeah, it was my question was, who was going to be providing all that? Okay, did you I'm not really sure if that kind of answered it.
Well, it's the courtesy of the corporation of the United States, because they kind of messed over us. They messed over us, and now they're gonna be held accountable to fix it. But this is a military operation. I'm sorry, go ahead.
The colonizers are going to be giving back what they stole.
Believe it or not, even the Pope signed off on it. The city of London. We extracted all of our gold. We extracted our gold from the Vatican and the city of London. Part of that gold is in Texas. The other part is in Reno, Nevada. I'm telling you, it's going down. Our money is backed by gold. Texas was the first state to back currency by gold September 1st, 2023. 13 and 14 other states follow suit, and more states follow suit.
All right. Okay.
So is this why Negroes be on YouTube for 24 hours because they know they got money coming?
I but I do know because our money is backed by gold, it takes away the taxes that they've been taxing us on. Because back in the day, back in 1913, our money was backed by gold then. 1913, our money was backed by gold. Taxes that we're paying today, they never saw that back then. The
Let
only
me ask you a question.
okay,
If this don't happen in November, I'm just saying if it don't happen, are you going to feel bad that you provided this information to over 3,000 people because
no,
no.
no, because like I said, when I came across this letter and understood that military was doing slow drips of the information pertaining to this, and then I brainstormed and I've been watching the news and I understand what I'm looking at. When when a person look at the news, they just look at what's being fed to them, but they sometimes they
Mhm.
drop key words, and you got to pay attention. And if you don't pay attention to small detail, it will literally go over your head. So as I was seeing a bunch of chaos happening in the courtrooms, police, they're exposing how corrupt they are. So when it's time for you guys to learn what the Republic of the United States really stand for, we're gonna have to say we don't want no police because we all saw on TV how bad people are being treated by the police. Then they're gonna say, okay, what about federal? No, we don't even want federal government as a court system. We want the Republic of the laws of the land, because right now we're under maritime law, which is the law of the water, which is a conflict of interest. This is how they've been getting over on us. And then when you ask the court to respect your constitutional right, it's like pulling teeth just to get them to do it. When we go into the republic, you blink, it's done. It's done. And if you go to court, it won't be dragged out like it is now. It's going to be quick, fast, and it's going to be the common sense type of court. We ain't going to need no 12 jurors for common sense, because the land of the law is going to be
So
common.
they're getting rid of the 9 Supreme Court justices.
From my understanding, they're going to get rid of it and they're going to replace it with Republic of the Law. So it's going to be much smaller, more common sense. It's not going to have the long lingo, and Latin words, and it's going to be very common sense law.
At Itsness, can you come to the panel? Bad Saint, Girly Girly, Cherokee Born. Could y'all come to the panel, please? Because a few of them seem to be aware of it, and then a few don't. If you could come up to the panel for a minute, I appreciate it.
Chris, did you have any other questions for me?
Or
Yes.
any of y'all brothers out there, hit the link. American Isness, could you hit the link at the top and explain? Max, could you hit the link? Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I'm
Chris.
surprised. I'm surprised a bunch of other people didn't hit the link. I know they want to.
I know normally they do. I don't know what's holding them up,
Look,
but
I didn't want to. I look a mess. I need a haircut and stuff. I'm like, I
no,
gotta
you
ask
look
her some
fine. You
stuff.
look fine. You look fine.
Thank you,
Also,
Chief.
Houston, you want to hit the panel? I mean, they hit the panel under the worst conditions, like when people be fighting and arguing, and they hit the panel. But when some real shit is being told, I don't know. But shout out to Chief Josie. At least he came up.
to mention the most important piece, our credit card debt is going to be wiped off. That is totally illegal. Our car loans that we're paying for, we're going to outright own those cars. Our mortgages, the banks is going to send you your deeds with no
He's
explanation.
saying in November. But go ahead, sis. I'm sorry. I wish I would hit the damn link
Okay, so
easier.
what else? Let's see. I know I'm missing something else, but if somebody hit the link that knows what I'm
But
talking
she's talking about she wants you to come up
Yeah.
Even if you have questions, it would be nice.
And it's no debate. I'm like,
Right. We're just talking. No,
we
pretty
agree.
much
Yeah.
everybody over here is pretty much
Okay.
solid.
Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
want you to be intimidated, but this
No, no,
this is
no.
what God had intended for us in the Bible. And it's just that we've been hijacked. We have been conquered. We have been taken over. Our languages have changed. They did paper and verbal genocide on us, calling us one thing, having us confused so we won't claim this land here. This is our land. So if we're from Africa, you know what I mean, then that this is why they never even gave us reparation. Just think about that. Because they know who we are. And while we sleep, they're studying us. While we sleep, they study us. So what this Moore had did by writing President Donald J. Trump to ask him just to bankrupt the whole corporation, he was literally looking out for humanity. And I am so grateful, and I have nothing but gratitude for that, brother. Thank you for doing that. If you're listening, if you're watching, thank you. We all thank you. But keep your eyes on the news, Chris. For real. Pay attention, because when you see it, chaos, especially with these immigrants, just know they're softly tearing down the system, but they can't tell you that they have a contract with the UN. This, and you know what? This is why New York is giving away all of those millions of taxpayer money, because that's fiat money. Remember, in order for the system to go up, we got to tear the whole system down. So we got to get rid of all the fiat money.
Is that you, girly?
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everyone on the panel. I'm still listening.
Oh,
Hello.
All right.
Okay.
If you
yes.
have questions, you can ask. I mean, you're free.
Um. Okay. Well, my question, I guess was, I guess maybe the consensus in the chat is, when is all of this supposed to? I mean, I guess how is this going to be facilitated? Because there are a lot of little things that just sort of don't add up. Um, like things as simple as how is our water going to be cleaned? Who's going to perform that? How are our medications going to get made and dispensed? Because you still have people that need their blood pressure medicine, their heart medicine. Um, how are things going to? Because we just can't go from a system where people are being taken care of, and then somebody just one day said, oops, okay, well, all of your normal processes, or the processes that you're accustomed to, have now just been dismantled. And then you have a whole group of people, namely people that look like us, who are, um, and it's not social services, just dependent on everyday things to happen and occur, so that life can run smoothly for them. I feel like they've paid their price, so why should we have our old people suffering because now we have this new government? So I guess that's sort of my question is, how are these things going to be facilitated?
That's a good question. Thank you for hopping on the panel, and thank you for asking that question, because I did forget about that piece. Okay, so we're going to be contacted individually by mail, that we need to call a 800 number to make an appointment to claim our money. They're going to give you the telephone number, and when you make your appointment, please do not be late. They've been emphasizing this for 3 years through the military information, because it's so many of us that they have to have this meeting. They're only going to cut this meeting down to 30 minutes per person. So with that being said, when we show up at our meeting, they're going to show us how much money we have paid the IRS. They're going to show any jobs that we ever had, as far as any type of taxes. They're going to show the money that we currently have in our bank account, whether it's Wells Fargo or Bank of America, whatever bank you bank with. They're going to show you the balance on your account. So if your balance on that account with Bank of America is $1,000, they're going to show you in your new account that $1,000 have been transferred from Bank of America to a Quantum Financial System bank, okay, that is backed by gold. Then they're gonna, depending on your age, I think it's from age 62 and older, they will get their money all up front into their account, which is going to be millions because they're older and they've been paying taxes, and their social security and birth certificate have been traded with bonds through the stock market, Wall Street. Then at that point, they're going to make an appointment for the Medbeds. What are the Medbeds? The Medbed is a technology that came out back in the late 50s, early 60s, that the government knew about. The government refused to give it to us because at that point, cancer had popped up, and they realized that they could make money by giving you all of this medicine and going to the doctors and stuff and to cure cancer. So by the time you are cancer free, your insurance have been hit with $500,000 or $1 million, depending on how aggressive the cancer is. Not to mention the medication and everything that you got to go through with doctor's appointments. Well, the Medbed is eliminating all of that. When you make your appointment to get your money, you're going to also sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, because they don't want Ray Ray and Pookie. They don't want you to run your mouth so Ray Ray and Pookie can rob you, because they realize you got your money, but they ain't got their money yet, because they're doing this in pockets and phases. With that being said, you can help Ray Ray Pookie if you want to, or a family member. You just can't tell them you got your money, because you might mess it up for the rest of us that's not getting it, because Ray Ray and Pookie might be tech savvy and try to take it out of your account or whatever they might do. So they're going to make you sign an NDA. They're going to give you, you're going to set up an appointment with that appointment for your med bed. And that med bed is going to cure anyone with mental illness, depression, bipolar, herpes, diabetes. If you have one kidney in your body, the technology of a med bed will help grow your kidneys back. If you're missing any teeth, it will help grow your teeth back. Any limbs, anything that's going on with you, it will help with that. With that being said, even if those who are on Social Security, like I said, they're supposed to get a $5,000 increase, and for the next year, that 5,000 may turn into a 6,000 increase, because they planning on paying the rest of their money out within the next, I think, 3 to 5 years. Like, I think 5 years is the final cap for them to get all of their money. But that's how that's supposed to work.
What is this this med bed? Because I'm a nurse, and so I'm keenly interested in what the explanation is concerning what this med bed consists of.
Is that you, Isness?
Yes, this is me. Peace,
Okay.
Sister Bethy.
Okay.
If,
Go ahead, sis. I'm sorry.
Okay. If you go to Rumble, because that's kind of like the sister company of YouTube, and you type in Medbeds, there are thousands of videos about the Medbeds, and it breaks it all the way down, what it is, how it works. And some of the military people who has been in war have also been in the Medbeds, and even they have said that it actually worked. But this is the technology that came out like 30, but 50 years ago, and the US government just refused to give it to us because the pharmaceutical company has said if they give all of us access to the med bed, then it will put them out of business, and it will. Because God's intentions for us to be here is to be sovereign beings and not to be worried about any illness or anything. Because we really didn't have that thousands of years ago. All of this that we're going through now is the deep state, or the people that is doing it to us. So that's how the med bed is operated. And that's why they have it set up when we get our money. At the same time, we can make our appointment, because they are mindful that humanity is severely sick. We got all kind of illness going on, which is not the way God intended us to live our lives. We will also in the future, and I'm not saying it for this year, but probably this time next year, you will even hear the government saying, we want to give you guys incentives to have more children, 5,000 per children, to be a family again, because it's crazy. All of Most of us on this panel probably had a grandmother that had 10 kids, 13 kids, 21 kids. Now, us on the panel, we might say we have one kid, two kids, four kids, but it's not nothing compared to what our grandmothers and, and our great grandmothers have went through. They all had kids. And our population is supposed to be bigger than what it is now. So some of us is afraid to make a family because of all the crazy laws, all the chaos that's been going on throughout the years. We have friends and family, we witnessed them going through it. Child support, all of that is going away. Probation, all of that is going away. Being a felon, all of that is going away because it's
Okay.
designed to keep us down.
So are you gonna disappear in November?
No, I'm not. I'm not. No, I'm not.
Oh, hey, Isness, girlie, you got any more questions, sweetie?
No. That was my most pressing questions I was asking. I was thinking of just, since I'm a nurse, I was kind of geared towards that angle, but I think I'm gonna give Isness a chance to ask her question.
Hey, peace, girly girl. How are you doing?
Peace, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, well.
Hey,
Okay. Hey, Sister Bethy, and everybody else
hey.
on the panel.
Hi.
So, I have a question. Like, who is it that's running this new republic? Like, who are the people that will be in power at that particular time?
We won't know until it actually happened, but for what I know, the military is the one that's leaking out this information. Literally, they are. It's no way and when I say we, the people like me that knows this will have any access to this information if they wasn't. And they only did it just to give us hope for someone like me to share this information to someone like you. But we will all find out when that will happen, when the announcement is done on TV.
Okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
So, like, how do we not fear this new republic? Because in the past, we've had a military force kind of strike against the original Americans. So we've been going through, warfare for hundreds of years. So how do we not know that this new group will not continue to attack us or attack us in a more severe way?
Okay, I'm so glad you asked that question. Thank you. So, do you guys remember 911?
Yes.
Yes.
Chris, you don't remember 911?
What is not what you call like in an emergency?
Yeah, like,
No,
oh, when the tower
Oh,
building,
yeah.
9/11.
Yeah.
yes,
You said 911. I'm thinking, all right, yeah, I remember 911.
But that's why they picked that date though, is because it spelled out 911, supposedly.
right. So,
Okay.
so the reason 9/11 happened is because this information was supposed to come out on that day, nationwide on TV. And what they did was they caused 911 to happen. So, okay, go ahead, Chris.
Who?
Yeah, 911, when the Twin Tower building had went down in New York City,
Uh
is
huh.
this information was supposed to be announced then. So that's why 9/11 did happen, because when something is supposed to come out, they always create these distraction, these chaos.
That was 20 something years ago.
Show was it was supposed to come out then. And then another time it was supposed to come out is when they assassinated JFK in Dallas. That's why they took him out. And then the tragic thing that happened with the Titanic and that ship, they was trying to prevent all of this stuff from happening as far as us paying taxes. And that's why the ship went down. So there
So who are the people making this happen?
is the military. It's a small branch of the military that's making this happen because they've been trying all these years, but they've been hijacked.
So there's a small branch of the military.
Mm-hmm,
Are you telling me that a small branch of the military
mm-hmm,
is just disregarding Joe Biden and not respecting his presidency?
correct. When
Wow.
and his
I've never
and
heard of the chief in commander
okay, so
being ignored by something that he's overseeing.
well, in his inauguration, all the military had turned their back on him. And it's on YouTube, you can look it up. And why do you think he's giving away all that money to the Ukraine? He's helping that branch of the military to tear down the system. This is why billions of dollars are going to the Ukraine because
So he's tearing down the system.
yes, that's fiat money.
So if he's tearing down the system, you're saying Trump is going to bring it up.
The military is going to bring it up.
So are we now saying Trump's not going to be the Republic guy in head? Because why is he running? They're literally having an election.
Yeah, if it happens on November the 5th, but the military is running things and we are under soft martial law. And President Joe Biden, is helping to tear down the system because he knows about this too. This is what I've been saying. That's why I'm saying from today going forward, pay attention to all the news and just
Okay.
okay, is this part of the teardown? Because why is he giving away the fiat money? Because the fiat money is linked to the corporate of United States.
Okay.
But
I'm
so
gonna wait.
Who's going to facilitate this change? Because someone has to be in charge of doing this, and then who's going to be in charge once that happens?
Sis, I don't have the names of who is in charge.
I'm just asking. The reason I'm gonna tell you why I'm asking. Because,
No. I've been saying that because they've been very secretive because, like I said, everything that I'm sharing with you just did not all happen overnight.
Then it's not a secret because you're able to share this.
Yeah, you're able to share it.
They want me to share it so you guys can be prepared and have.
So somebody's told you to share this?
No, listen.
Okay.
This information is supposed to be made public. It's not being made public because right now they need to tear down the system. And if all of this information come out at once, it will literally cause chaos. People is not going to understand it. So this is why they've been doing the small drip for a number of years. And right now, this year is the marker from when everything is supposed to be tear down and exposed. Remember when Cat Williams did his interview with Shay?
Yes.
He was kind of shedding light on it a little bit, but I knew what he was saying, but a lot of people didn't. And when he said that 2024 is the year where everything's going to hit the fan, he was also, he knows about this. I'm trying to tell you, even though he didn't say it in Club Shay, he was talking about all the chaos that is going on, and all of that is got to be exposed and dealt.
The only thing that I see going on is Puffy diggity.
That's part of the plan. We already knew about Puffy. We already knew about Jay-Z and Beyonce.
I ain't know nothing about Jay-Z and Beyonce. All I know is she just made a new country song, and all the people in the country song community is mad.
Yeah, but it's on the surface. It's deeper than what you guys think. It's the Harvey Weinstein, all of that is connected. We already knew about it. We was just waiting for it to come out so you guys can talk about it. And Cat Williams is working for the military when he did that interview, because that was the time for him to say, okay, you guys, get your popcorn ready because this year is going to be a crazy year. And I understood what he was saying, even though you guys.
Who said that?
Cat Williams.
Oh, when he said, get your popcorn ready.
Yes, I understand.
I thought, I am eating popcorn because I keep hearing about Diddy, and every time, it's like every other day, somebody pops up with a
A
stretched
new
butthole.
claim. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Lord, Lord.
yes, yes.
I mean, I'm just saying
I
But
have a question.
that you bet. But go ahead, y'all got it.
Yeah, peace, y'all.
Hey, peace.
Peace
I
and
have
love, peace, American isness. Girly girl, Chris
Hey,
Jacobs,
Beth.
shout out to SyFy Living. I ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you.
hey,
She's a beautiful sister, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember her from back in the day, man. We used to build over on Sonetta's back in the day.
thank you.
Okay.
But I think the sis she had another question for
Go
me.
ahead, Sister American isness.
Hey, okay, so I have one question. So you're saying that all these military aged men that are here, that are coming, these hundreds of millions of people that are coming over here, that they are here to rescue us, to help us?
Okay, they are here to help with the mass arrest. And look at it like this: I'm a police officer, you're a police officer. I'm the bad one, you're the good one. But you and I are friends. Would you feel comfortable arresting me?
I may feel a certain way.
Yeah, but you really probably won't. You might tip me off, and then I would be on the run. So this is why the UN did a contract with all these other people around the world to come here in military age so they can train in military and being the police so they can arrest the people that has been arrested under seal indictments. And this seal indictment have happened back in 2017. And so far, over a half a million seal indictments are under seal as of today. And it's not just here in America. This has been going on around the world.
So
This is
is it fair to say that they've started arresting some now?
yes. This is why some people don't look like themselves. This is why Beyonce looked very young. Hint, hint. This is why Joe Biden look keep changing. Hint, hint. Um, Barack Obama was a little darker. Now he's a little lighter. Um, Jamie
So
Foxx.
did they go in the exercise bed, or what kind of bed you call that?
Say that again.
Are they in the
Okay.
med beds? Maybe they look
The
younger
med
because they
beds.
went to the med beds.
No, 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 no. This is a tribunal, a military tribunal.
Well, I mean, so Beyonce didn't get plastic surgery or whatever man-made stuff.
Remember when there was an uproar because her butt got bigger, and they
I
said that,
always thought she always had a big butt.
and then they said that she had a BBL, and then Jay Z, his dreadlocks was short and it wasn't fused together, and then all of a sudden it got fused together. They're throwing out hints. These they are
What?
not they are not who you think they are. They are no longer with us. They have been dealt with by a military tribunal.
So they're not really who they are.
No, they're actors and lookalikes and body doubles.
Yeah, they bio cyborgs. They part computer, part bio genetics.
Well, please tell me 50 Cent's real, right?
No, but
That's not the real 50 Cent?
no, but he is working with the military. That's why he keep trolling Diddy because he's helping putting the information out there publicly because they know that the media really ain't gonna do it.
You telling me that my next husband is not who he is, 50 Cent?
No, Lil Wayne, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein is still alive. By the way, he's gonna come out. He's gonna come out and he's gonna testify against those who've been to his island. This
All
is
this is, are you okay?
this is why when he supposedly had hung himself in New York City jail and those officers were held accountable, they end up getting off because they just replaced his body with another body. And
Who?
Jeffrey Epstein, he's still alive. He's not dead. And
Right. Even when you look at the body that they brought out and you compare it to pictures of
it's not.
him, it's not the same person. The
So
eyebrows.
Jamie Foxx not the same person either.
No, he's lighter. When have we ever known light skinned Jamie Foxx? And Jamie had some tattoos that the new Jamie don't have because it's not him.
One particular is on the back of his head, on
Yep.
his neck.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all pulling my leg?
No, nope. I put it on God. Everything I'm telling you guys, I have no intent just to gas you up. None of that. Let me show my face. I have no
This
intent.
is scary.
No, I'm not. And see, this,
No, I said this is scary.
the thing is, we're going into a reset. And it's
Okay.
not just here in America, it's around the world.
Okay.
We're all going to be liberated. Right now, you may not think you're a slave, but we are slaves. We shouldn't be working no 40 hours a week. We shouldn't be fearful of, oh my God, I can't have a baby because I can't afford it. I can't afford my rent. We're not supposed to be living like this. This is not God intents. And it is in the Bible. We're not supposed to live like slaves. Even the celebrities. How is it that Tina Turner and Patti LaBelle, they're still, and I know Tina is dead, but I was just using her because of her age. But how is it that Patti LaBelle's still doing world tours as old as she is?
So you think she got on the med bed?
They're
Because
slaves.
she's saying that she got
You
diabetes.
got the
She's
Osley
saying
brothers still doing them tours.
she's saying that she's a diabetic.
Yeah, but why is she still working? She's a slave just like we are. I'm working. I'm still working 40 hours a week. I'm not supposed to be working. I'm supposed to have a bunch of kids, a life, and not worry about no bills. And that's what the new future is going to be like. We're not going to even worry about no money because all of us is going to be equal with money. Only thing we're going to be worried is, okay, what can you bring to my mental state? How can we be a family and not be ugly towards the kids, or be ugly with each other in front of the kids? No, all of that is going to be sorted out. And when we get in the med bed, all the trauma that we went through our childhood, elementary, being bullied, junior high, high school, college, whatever, being fired, car accident, never got right because my back hurt. All of that is going to be resolved through the med beds. And I highly recommend you guys to go on Rumble and just type in Medbeds. Go into BitChute and type in Medbeds. It's real.
Wow. This is scary.
Will there be enough med beds for everybody? Sorry.
There will. There will.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
I mean, she literally said she stands on this on God. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
What happened? Is their microphone muted?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Anybody can ask questions. And we didn't ask
Okay.
for a moment of silence.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, you know.
Yeah.
I got a few. They just simple questions. What's your tribe or nationality, or are you black?
I'm copper tone,
Okay, all right.
but I'm an American. I'm indigenous to this land. Um,
Are you a Moor?
I'm not a Moor.
Okay.
No, I'm not a
You don't
Moor.
know what tribe you are or something like
I don't.
I think on my maternal great grandmother, I think She said it was like, oh crap, what was it?
I'm
I
a
don't know,
Mississippi.
somewhere in Arkansas. Um, I'm gonna remember the name like in a minute too. I can't even remember.
Yeah. But I'm a Mississippian. I mean, both of my parents' bloodline is from Mississippi. So that's all I know. But as far as my blood, the tribe or anything like that, no, I don't know.
And she's beautiful, Mississippian.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
Well, if
but
it's true, I sure hope it happens because I swear I need money.
Yeah, you're going to get it. You're going to get it. I'm telling you, you're going to get it.
I
Ev-
hope that I'm personally contacted tomorrow.
Everyone
Do they
that's
have anything? Do they have anything going on where you could like get it in advance, like now instead of waiting until November?
no,
I mean, I would love to get a random call.
I understand. And if you guys do the research on the Medbeds and on for Rumble, also, let me see, pull up Nassara Gassara or Gassara Nassara. Let me spell that for you.
Yeah, we got that.
oh
We know about that.
Oh, okay.
I got
yeah,
both of the books, 1 and 2. Also,
Yeah. Because
so that means that we don't have to play lotto no more.
no, all of us would be equal. We won't even have no passport to travel out the country. All of that is going away. I'm telling you, we're entering the golden age. That's what's going on. I'm talking about the golden age in our lifetime. Whenever the elder used to say to us, we're doing this for the future, they were talking about us. We are the future. It's happening now. It is happening now. We
Did
going
anybody contact you?
no. And if they did, I can't say nothing because I would have to sign an NDA.
Has anybody signed any NDAs yet? You said just to see senior citizens.
Some of them are already getting it through the government SSI thing. Um, I just wish there is someone that's listening that can confirm that the grandmother, mother, auntie, that, oh, that's what she's talking about. Wow. But it is happening. We're hearing it ones and twosies, not as a mass group, but it is happening. When people are doing their credit report, it's zero out because that's a part of it because they don't want you to be in debt. We're getting a clear reset on our life, on our health. They want us to think and be more humble, not paranoid, because we've been traumatized. Some of us been literally traumatized. So I can understand if someone say, I have a hard time trusting. All of that is going
So,
to go away.
Okay. In the recent video from Beyonce,
Hmm.
her daughter was doing that dance that she can't fucking do. I don't care what nobody say. You know the little dance that she keep doing on TikTok. She's stiff as a pole, but she's a cutie patootie. She look just like her daddy. You mean to tell me that Beyonce's fake and her daughter is real, and her daughter don't know that that's not really her mother?
Okay, so when these celebrities are taken out, their family members are taking care of the children, but the family member has to sign an NDA as well.
But the kids ain't gonna keep their mouth closed. I mean, her daughter don't seem like she uh
But she's not,
look like her mother died or anything.
but
She
she's not,
don't look sad or
she probably gotten over it, but they have to sign an NDA.
what about Will Smith? Is he alive?
Oh no. You haven't you noticed Will Smith looked way younger than what he did before 2016 because he was
You really messing my head up right now.
taken out in 2017. Jada is
So who was that slapped Chris Rock 2 years ago?
that wasn't him.
Oh my goodness.
That wasn't
and
him.
and did he slap Chris Rock or was that somebody else?
That I don't know. I haven't gotten his name on the list of being taken out by military tribunal. So I can only speak of who I know for sure: Ludacris, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith, P Diddy, Beyonce, um, Lil Wayne, Kanye West.
Kanye West.
You
He's
ain't know.
supposed to be.
You
He's
ain't know
supposed to
that
be an Indian. He's supposed to be on our side.
he's working for the military. That's why he's been giving us a bunch of history lately. He's helping to tear down the corporation. This is why he's been talking about the Jewish people. That's part of tearing down the corporation because they've been keeping us down too.
I've never had any bad relationships with Jews. All Jews that I have, that I know, have always been very
Thank you
honorable to
for
me.
saying that. So let me say this.
All Jews I've ever had relationships,
All,
women and men, they always been so
all Jews,
honorable and humble and friendly with me.
right. I totally agree. Not all Jews are bad, but I'm speaking of Kanye West and his content. He's talking directly to the bad Jewish people in leadership that had deliberately kept us down no matter what because
Um,
they own part of the corporation of the United States, what a lot of people doesn't realize. BlackRock, they own half of media, they own Target, they got stock in Walmart. Do your research. I'm giving you guys the information to literally do your research. So when
I
Kanye
heard
West,
of Black Rock.
yeah, when Kanye West was talking about all of these things that's happening to us, he's not speaking of the whole race. He's just speaking of the select few that have hijacked America, turned it into a corporation, and enslaved everyone. They own the prison systems, they own the courts, they
okay, let's stop right there. Flag on the plane. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I personally don't believe all this stuff. I have to say that I'm very sorry.
no, that's
And I I actually want to stop it here because
okay.
it's just too much right now. As the owner of this channel, I am saying that this is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I don't attest to it. I'm not in no cult group or in no group where I wish to overthrow America. I love this country. I'm just not into all this craziness, and it's something that my energy doesn't connect with at all.
Okay. Well, I
And
respect
and
that.
I mean, you're beautiful. You're a sister. You're beautiful. You sharing what you believe, and I appreciate it because it takes a lot to come on
Yes.
a panel and discuss things that are in your head and things that you want to share with the world. And I'm saying it's educational entertainment purposes. I'm just old colored girl that's still working her job every day. And I don't know. I don't know, Pumpkin. I don't know. So I just have to wait and see. And if all this turns out to be true in November, um,
Well,
I'm gonna say SyFy, I stand corrected.
you keep saying November. I'm saying let's give it into December.
Oh, December. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I,
whenever you said it's this year.
something's gonna happen. Something is
Something's
gonna
gonna
be
happen.
well,
Okay.
yep. And then it's gonna tie into some of the things I'm saying. And then at that point, people can be like, she might be on to something.
Okay. I'm
Mm.
gonna listen. I'm gonna keep looking out.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you opening up your platform for this.
Stay in touch. You have my number, you have my email. We could always talk. I really appreciate you coming up, sharing the information.
Mhm.
This segment has been a great segment. There's been no arguing and fighting. And I hope you come back. You're always welcome here. Always.
Well, thank you,
Always, always.
panel. I
And
appreciate it.
does anybody have one more last question before we get out of here? Hey, pretty girl.
How y'all doing?
See you. Look at her. So pretty.
Yes, I came home. I came home and got undressed, and I said, "Let me hop on camera real quick with my red nose." But yeah,
That's
sis,
okay.
for
You
coming
still
on.
beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sis, for coming on and sharing your what you know with us. Like she said, it's hard to sometimes to come on and to express your views with people especially when you know that they may not be met with the warmest of it may not be met with warmth. So thank you.
Right.
No problem. Thank you. And thank you, Chris. And thank you, Chief. You guys have a good one.
You're welcome, sweetheart. And give me a call anytime.
Okay, I will.
Okay. All right, you guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Girlie, you so pretty. You should always turn that camera on, sis. Seriously. It's good to see. I love to see our people. But I
Yeah,
love
me too.
everybody. Yeah, I love everybody. And I'm gonna get out of here. I'll be back tomorrow with some crazy stuff. So I hope y'all be on tomorrow. I'm gonna get off and go relax myself. I'm a little tired. I wasn't even gonna go live. I had canceled with her, and then I called her back and said, "You know what? I know you were waiting to do this. I'll get up." So I got up, took a shower, because I've been working since like 4 this morning
Yeah, you get up
at my
early.
job. Yeah, I'm a morning person, and I just like to be at my computer doing my day job.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna go to sleep now. I probably will be looking in somebody's chat room, just watching till I fall asleep. But I love y'all so much.
Love you too.
And smash the like
Love you
button.
too.
Yeah, and I saw Top Cat's channel. He had a good build today.
Yeah, he
He
might come back
did.
on this evening, so we'll see.
I think I saw it, so I think I'm gonna go and watch it and see who else is
Okay.
live. But I love y'all so much, and I'm
All
gonna
right.
get out of here.
Thanks for
And
having the panel this evening, Sister Bethy.
always, you're always welcome here, sis.
Y'all
Everybody
take
is
care.
that's in here. Take it
Bye.
easy, y'all. Bye. Love y'all again to the moon and the back.
Lose control. You don't wanna go slow. For sure, we both already know your place is my place. Now my place is your place. Let's face it, baby. You know all the places. My place is your place. Just face it. No one knows my places like you do. Your places like I do. My place like you do. Time's been moving slowly, so we already in too deep. Can't get no sleep on each other, heavy teasing all day. And when the sun sets, you asking me to come through, kick it